It is November 8th of 2021. Today is the launch of Visual Studio 2022, so let's check it out. Here we can download the Community Edition, Professional Edition, or Enterprise Edition. Since this is for personal use, I'll download the Community Edition. Let's open up the installer. It says before we get started, it needs to set up a few things. Let's hit continue. So it's getting the Visual Studio installer ready. If you downloaded Visual Studio before, this will look very familiar. So we just choose what we want to use it for. ASP.NET Web Development, Node.js Development, and you can add other options later if needed. So I'm going to click Mobile Development, Desktop Development, Universal Windows Platform Development, Unity Game Development. You can see the space required keeps growing as we add stuff. And let's install. So now it's going to download and install Visual Studio Community Edition 2022, the current edition of Visual Studio. One of the biggest updates in Visual Studio 22 is hot reload. So once this is downloaded, I'll try that out. Visual Studio Community Edition 2022 is fully downloaded. Let's launch it. We have the option to sign in. I skipped that. We can pick our development settings. We can choose a color theme. So blue, blue extra contrast, dark and light, just like on the current version of Visual Studio. So I'm going to try out dark. Start Visual Studio. So here's the start screen, very similar to Visual Studio 2019, except for you can see the high contrast icons. So let's try out a new project. Let's do an ASP.NET Core web application. I'm just going to leave it with the default name. Hit next. So it opens up with .NET 6. It lets you pick your authentication type. And if you want HTTPS, Docker, and the operating system to run Docker on. So I'll just click Create. So here we are inside Visual Studio 2022 on Windows 11. Let's run the default web application. It's asking us if we want to trust a certificate. Click Yes. Alright, here's our default website. Click a tab, go to Privacy tab. So let's try to edit something. Let's go Solution Explorer. Let's go into our C# file. Type prop, tab, string, and call it greeting. Hit save. Now back in the HTML, we're going to type at model dot greeting. Hit save. Of course, it would help if I gave it a value. Hello. And click save. And click hot reload. And now our page says hello, and we didn't have to stop the debugger. That's very helpful and will save a lot of time. So I'm going to close this web app. You can also see all the high contrast icons to make everything easier to see. So let's close this solution and create another project. Let's do a desktop project. WPF application. Hit next. Take the default names. It is .NET Core 6. So we have the designer here. And here we have the light bulb that lets us edit things. So let's go into our toolbox. Let's drag and drop a button. So we get the little light bulb for the button too. We can change our colors here. Make our border red if we want to. Our background. Make that orange if we want to, or just a different shade of red. You can give it a name, my button, all from this help menu. So let's run the application. Okay, we have a simple application with a single button. I should have made the button larger. So we have our live preview over here. So I'll just snap this window to the right, Visual Studio to the left. And change the height, 500, and the width, 500. Now we have a much larger button. Let's add a click handler. My button click. And that also showed up in our code behind here. Let's add a text box too, or text block. Let's give it a name. My text. And then we can reach my text. So the change doesn't seem to be reflecting here. So let's restart. Let's do my text dot text equals hello, and save it. I had to give the text block a height and a width, but now you can see without restarting the application, we can change the text in C# to whatever we want. Save it. Click hot reload. And then we can continue to work on our application and run the application at the same time. So this is the new look for Visual Studio 2022. Let's launch Visual Studio 2022 from the Start menu. That's the new splash. Here's the projects we worked on. Let's continue without code. It's asking us to sign in. Just going to X that out. Let's open a project. Let's open the web application we created. Let's go to Tools, Options. Let's switch our theme to blue with extra contrast. So here's a quick look at the blue theme. It's very similar to the dark theme. We have our high contrast icons. Here's a look at the HTML. All around a very nice upgrade to Visual Studio. And that's a quick look at the new hot reload functionality. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and comment below. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.